Brian, you gleamed the cube. Huh? You're in worse shape than I thought. The cube, Brian. It's the place that you skate when you let go. Don't worry. It's an intangible. 9/10 of the people don't grasp it, so I guess you're safe for now.
Video Store Rewind.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the podcast known as Video Store Rewind. I am one of your mini hosts, Rich, and to my right is
Zach,
and to his right is not a motherfucking person in the world, because it's just me and Zach today. Matt is.
I believe it is our first Mattless podcast.
It's our first Mattless podcast.
We've had many Richless podcasts.
Podcast, yeah. My work gets in the way a lot. Matt's almost does a lot, but he really couldn't make it today.
He's hanging out in Elkhart, Indiana.
He's on location doing field work for VSR at Elkhart, Indiana.
Chugga choo choo.
Interviewing the mutant locals of Elkhart.
The Elkhart Hills have eyes.
Yeah. What have you been up to, Zach?
Oh, jeez. I went to... Where did I go recently?
You went to Smuggler's
Oh,
Run?
no, I went to... no, we already talked about this. Wait, since the last podcast, I haven't done anything.
Really? No?
Not really, no.
We flew in from Florida yesterday morning, so I just got back from vacation.
What part of Florida?
South Florida. We were Hollywood,
Yuck.
Miami. Oh, it's so hot.
Yuck. In fucking June.
In June, yeah. Well, Rachel's a teacher, so I don't really have a choice.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I can't get off for other vacations. Like I can't get off Thanksgiving because it's all the people with higher seniority get it. I can't get off Christmas because seniority. So
was it
summer or bust?
That's where your dad lives, right?
Yeah, my dad splits up his time between Pembroke Pines, Florida, is where his place is.
Okay.
And then we've got
actually know
family
someone
in
that's from
Hollywood.
Pembroke Pines.
Oh, really?
It's like outside of Miami somewhere, like northwest of Miami.
Yeah, it's about like 30, 40 minutes.
It's hot as fuck.
Dude, it was so fucking
I
hot.
saw some alligators.
We went to the Everglades. We saw alligators.
We saw some people on meth.
We saw meth
some
man.
alligators
We
on
saw
meth.
Florida man. We really
A lot
did.
of Florida men.
We saw
women.
Florida man. We saw. Did I tell you about that?
What?
Florida man.
No.
We were on our way to the. All right. Dom was he stayed with my dad in Charlotte, and we were going to go to the casino. It was like 10:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
So we're driving, and Rachel's like, "Oh my god, I want this light." It was the world's longest red light. She's like, "I want this light to turn green because it's." This man is making me uncomfortable, and I go, "Who?" And I see this guy inching up further away, so he's like kind of diagonal to me, whatever.
Okay.
And so I'm
coming the other way.
No, he's at the light with me, the next lane over. So I'm watching him. He's from me to you, but he's in his car, the windows down. It's hot as fuck.
Right.
He's got like this ratted long hair, like sun in blonde.
Oh, gross.
You know the sun in blonde color.
Yeah.
It's in a ponytail, and it's so ratted it almost looked like dreadlocks, but it wasn't dreadlocks. It was just nasty hair.
It's just nasty.
And he looked like he had just smoked 7 meth rocks, if that's how you do meth. I don't know. And he was like looking around, and he had the fucking Kleenex in his hand, and he was going like nonstop,
Little baby elephant,
just fucking going to town, blowing his nose, and I'm just fucking. I'm intensely just staring at this guy like, what the fuck is going on? And he's looking around. He never looks at us, and he's alone in the car. And he goes, I heard him yell, but I couldn't make out what he said. He's like, oh, yeah, just because I got some motherfucking snot. And Rachel's like, looks at me, and I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, whoa. And I'm watching him, and I think he's smoking a joint because I see him smoke, like he's smoking a cigarette, but it wasn't in the same repetition as someone who's smoking a cigarette, So he's like, had it down. And I'm watching him, and before the light turned green, I watched him raise the biggest can of Budweiser you've ever seen in your life.
like the ones that Matt brings up, like the 25-ounce cans.
Yeah, they're like 4 foot tall, and he's just fucking... And then he puts it back down between his legs, and he's looking around, blowing his nose again. I'm like, holy shit. It was the craziest thing ever.
So when he was saying the snot line, he was talking to you two, because you were looking at him, right?
No, he never looked at us looking at him. Like
I thought he was responding to you guys staring.
No, he was talking to the man in his car that wasn't there. He was high as a kite and hammered. Yeah,
he's talking to Harvey the Rabbit. Do you think he was on coke? Maybe that's why he's blowing his nose.
Dude, he was on something, bro. He had just snorted
I
many
feel like he was on
lines
a
of-
lot of things.
Yes, I think he was Florida man.
What
Rachel said that's Florida man.
What car was it? What kind of car did you drive?
Ooh, that's a good question. Everyone down there drives a Honda, Hyundai, and
Yeah.
it was like probably a Honda hatchback, but it was older and like beat up a little bit. Looked
Right.
like he had bumped into a couple of things, besides the bumps he took in his nose.
Did you ever notice? I don't know if it's all over the state of Florida, but I think it is. Is that the traffic lights last forever?
Yes, and
Like-
people will cut in front of you.
Like 3 or 4 minutes they'll last.
Man, they fucking are. The Florida drivers are insane. If there's anybody from Florida listening, you guys suck at driving.
Yeah, especially in South Florida, like Miami.
Rachel gets nervous. Well, I took you to the airport the one time, and I was like, I'm gonna give Zach a good scare, and I drive like a maniac too.
Yeah, he drives a little maniacal.
But maniacal.
Maniacal.
But
Maniacally.
fucking Florida drivers scare me, dude. I drive like a grandpa down there because they're so like unpredictable. Like, let me just cut you off from 4 lanes over for no fucking reason.
Well, they're all on meth, right?
Yeah, I go blowing their fucking noses, fucking talking to invisible people in their car.
His Kleenex budget must be through the roof.
Stupid.
Oh, so what movie are we doing today?
We're doing Gleaming the Cube. It was released at January 13th, 1989, starring a very young and attractive Christian Slater.
Oh yeah.
This movie was made on a budget of $10 million, a box office gross of $2,777,280.
That took a dive.
Yeah, it has.
Shit.
I'm sure out of the $10 million budget, Pizza Hut provided about $8 million because
No, we're doing Pizza Hut presents Gleaming the Cube.
Yes. This movie on Rotten Tomatoes has a 29% from the critics and a 69% from the audience.
Of course, the audience loves it.
It finished number 135 out of 240 movies released in 1989. Its gross of $2.7 million, we'll say, we'll put in comparison to number 1, Batman, which was released yesterday.
Yeah, I did see that because Jeff Beauchamp
Oh, yeah.
talked about it on
A
Instagram.
bunch of people were posting stuff that I saw. So, yeah, we're celebrating the anniversary of Batman. What's the math on that?
On how many? 30 years?
30 years? Yeah.
89, 99, 09? Yeah.
Yeah, 30 years.
Shit.
The 30th anniversary. It's funny that we're doing Gleaming the Cube, and Batman topped out 1989 with...
Oh, how much? Oh, man. 300 million?
$251,188,924.
I feel like movies made less money back then, or is it just because of like the inflation?
Inflation, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know what the working titles or the other titles of this movie were?
No, but it had something to do with eating pizza.
No, it was they were actually, one sounded like a kung fu movie, which is A Brother's Justice,
Oh,
and then the other one was Skate or Die.
Skate or Die. That's
was-
a better title.
That was the video game though, so like I'm like,
Oh. Well, yeah, it was also on his. He had a poster that said "Skate or Die" in his room.
because that was a popular video game, Skate or Die.
I don't know if I've ever. I had to have played it. It
You
sounds
you
familiar.
really did play it.
Yeah.
I've yet to decide. I said I found the quote that I wanted to open the episode.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to open the episode. It's either going to be the quote or the song that opens the movie, which the song is called "Gleaming,
Gleaming
the
the
Cube."
I don't even remember
What
how
the
it goes.
fuck?
But it's not any good.
It was. I could tell you some of the lyrics.
What are they?
Gleaming the Cube.
Can you imagine?
Gleaming the Cube.
So they had to like hand someone this job, and they say, "All right, you need to write a song about this movie. What's it called? Gleaming the Cube." Okay. Can you make that the title of the song? Oh fuck!
Oh, what the fuck?
What did that mean? I don't know, man. It's a real vague idea about pushing yourself to the limits.
They're like, what does that mean? And then they bring in Yobo.
Yabo.
Yabo. They bring in Yabo, and he's
Yeah,
like,
they bring in Sensei Yabo.
Sensei Yabo from his bomb shelter bedroom.
Who's a fucking. He looks like a total dope.
He looks familiar, right? He's got to be in something else.
Let's
Listen, I'm jumping ahead, but if you're wondering, like I'm wondering, what the fuck Gleaming the Cube means, Yabo says something to Christian Slater in the movie. He says, "Hey, do you gleam the cube?" And he's like, "It's the place you skate when you let go. It's an intangible place.
He's like, you shine it on, man.
You shine it on, brah."
When you gleam the cube, it's like it's an intangible. What was the first part again?
It's when you let go.
Oh, it's like the cube is the place you go when you skate.
When you let go.
fucking so stupid.
It's way too deep. It should have just been Skate or Die.
Skate or Die would have been a much better.
Brothers Justice sounds like a Steven Seagal revenge film.
Brothers Justice sounds like definitely sounds like an '80s movie. Sounds like a Steven Seagal or.
It's either a Steven Seagal revenge
Van
film
Damme.
or like a movie about the Italian mafia for some reason. That's what the vibe I get.
Skate or Die would have been much better. Let's see. That guy that plays Yabo is Max Perlich.
Yeah.
He was in Cliffhanger.
Okay.
Shit. Let's see.
So they're remaking all female.
Are they?
They're remaking it for sure. I don't know if it's all female, but
God. I don't notice anything else that he was in really. Drugstore Cowboy.
I do.
Oh, he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I don't know who he was in that.
I do have to say that I picked this movie because my wife Rachel has been telling me to pick this movie since we started the podcast. Pretty much, this is like very early on. She's really pick Gleaming the Cube, pick Gleaming the Cube, and then I work with a guy, Jason. He was like, "Oh man, yeah, you guys should do Gleaming the Cube," and I was like, "Fuck it," you know. My wife's been on me. You suggested it, so we're just gonna do Gleaming the Cube.
Right. I feel like her favorite movies were movies where she just had a crush on the guy in the movie.
Christian Slater, man.
Like Cool
You know
as Ice.
the other movie she wants us to do really bad is Heathers.
Cuffs.
Heathers. I've never
Heathers.
seen it.
I've seen Heathers. I saw it like I want to say like
That's Christian Slater and Winona Ryder, right?
yeah, like
Okay.
I think I saw it like 15 years ago. So I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember it being like one of those like
She's told me the plot many of times, so I kind of know what's going on.
it's one of those like cult movies that's
Yeah.
where it's like it's got kind of like a darker themes to it than like a normal like
well,
high
they
school
made
thing.
they made it a show recently. I was like,
Oh, did they?
I don't know if it was a streaming exclusive or no. I think it was gonna be on like a cable network, and then they canceled it because it was like just like about high schoolers killing each other and shit. So they were
Right, right.
kind of provocative, but then it lived on through streaming. So
Right. I wrote down the name. Did you? I don't know. I always read the credits, like, and I thought this name made me laugh out loud. But the director of photography is named Reed Smoot. I don't know why that made me
Reed
giggle.
Smoot. It sounds like somebody who read the Fantastic Four comic books too much and then just picked a sexual position he heard of.
Right.
Is his last name? Yeah, call me Reed Smoot.
I wrote down. I said
What's a
I don't know
smoot?
why they're.
It's when you take your two fingers and you. Never mind. Anyway,
I wrote down. I don't know why they're skateboarding on the tarmac.
Nice song, and then my second note is skating on the tarmac? Question mark. What the fuck? They're skating on the tarmac of an airport. There's many planes riding by, and they're like touching them and shit. I'm just waiting for one of these kids to get like fucking hit with a propeller or something.
Right. So the basic plot of this movie is that Christian Slater has his name is shit. What's his name in the movie? Billy. It's something really normal. Brian. It's
Brian Kelly.
He has a Vietnamese adopted brother, and Brian is the like underachieving kind of like slacker.
They think he's a loser, but he's a very, very talented skateboarder.
Right.
No one understands him. His
No one
family
understands him. And he plays by no one's rules.
His family doesn't talk to him. They talk about him.
Right. Yeah. They say
And
that later.
he has a brother who they adopted 11 years prior, who's Vietnamese, who's very smart, very responsible.
Overachieving.
He's an overachiever.
Right. He always like he's the one that like does his homework for him
And they make this very clear when you go into the room that they share. The Vietnamese brother's side is very clean, neat, and organized.
Right.
And his side's just got shit everywhere.
Shitty
with
posters
on the wall.
hung all askew.
Askew.
So the brother's name is Vin, and he works at a video store. Like the video store is like a front for like drug smugglers or something, right?
I don't understand what's going on, Zach, because they are all right. Well, first off, let me say that let's stick with the beginning, because when they're on the tarmac, they're hiring a pilot that they know. They're giving him cash to fly
Right.
fly over the city so they can scout for pools.
Right, because that's a cool place to get your skate on.
Yeah, you skate in the empty pools.
Did you hear him describe it? He goes, "Man, I found a killer pool, kidney." I was like, "Oh yeah, they do kind of look like kidneys, don't
Yeah,
they?"
it's like kidney beans. So they hire this pilot to scout for pools, and they get in the plane and they start slapping stickers all over the place.
Right.
And they slap a sticker, and you're like, "Whoa, Tony Hawk sticker! That's fucking cool." That's like early on in his career, 1989.
Would he have had I don't know when like his professional career started.
like in the 70s, or the early
Could have been
80s.
the 70s, because he was like 18 when he made this movie.
Dude, he was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah, he's been doing this since a little kid. Then we find out later on that Tony Hawk plays a character in the movie, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, he kind of had to, I guess, because he has to have friends.
Is that
and his
breaking?
friends have to-
Was that breaking the fourth wall with the
Yeah, a
Tony
little
Hawk
bit.
sticker?
It's bringing you out. Yeah, it's bringing you out of the moment a little bit. Boy, he's a terrible actor too. He
Oh,
doesn't even
he's-
have to say that many lines.
He's got like 3 speaking lines, and you're like, oh, Tony,
You and your floppy,
Yeah.
floppy hair.
you're such a regular, just looking dude. You look like any dude that I would run into at Meijer on a Sunday.
He's kind of goofy looking when he's younger,
He looks exactly the same, kind of though.
does he?
Yeah, it's weird.
He's perpetually 53 years old.
Oh, that's they show the cop. I forget what that
Lucero,
yeah
the detective.
I forget what the reasoning is that they show him, but you called the sheriff. I didn't even pick up his name. I just called him Manny the whole movie because it's Manny from Scarface. It's Tony Montana's best friend who he kills for having sex with his sister, not
I
knowing
don't
that they're
even
married.
remember what he looks like. I
What?
haven't seen Scarface in a long time.
Yeah, man, he looks exactly the same.
Hey, hang on, let me just type it. You said, do you know his last name?
Just type in Manny from Scarface.
Scarface.
Let me see. The reveal is coming in 3, 2, 1. It's
Manny
exact-
Rivera.
is
He
it?
looks just like him.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
Oh man, that's really funny.
Because when did Scarface come out? 83?
80,
80?
82
No.
maybe.
Really?
I think yeah, 83. Yeah,
83? Yeah, so it's not that
he does look
Manny from Scarface, so I call him Detective Manny for the rest of the movie in my
Okay,
notes.
well, I'll try to address him as Detective Manny then.
No, you can call him Lucero, but I'm going to be like, yeah, him.
Right.
But then I wrote down Nerd Asian Brother because then they show the room where half is clean and half is
Right.
not. And then his girlfriend knocks on the door, and what's the Vietnamese brother's name?
Vin.
Vin. His girlfriend knocks on the door or on the window, and he sneaks out. So he's a goody two shoes, but he also is not afraid to break a rule. Yeah.
No.
So Vin sneaks out with his Vietnamese
he's-
girlfriend.
I
who-
kept thinking of Doogie Howser because his name is Vinny and he's sneaking out of the window.
I was thinking when I saw the girl, she looks like Trini kind of from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I don't know if you watched that show when you were a kid, but
Not as much as you probably.
the Yellow Ranger. Not to that's kind of racist, but the black guy was the Black Ranger, so I knew what they were doing there.
Oh, did they do that? Oh, that's not right.
Yeah. Billy was the Rainbow Ranger because he was
Was he?
gay.
Was he? Which one was Billy?
Billy,
I really don't remember.
the nerdy one.
The nerdy one.
David
Oh,
Yost.
did he have glasses?
Yes,
Because glasses means.
and
nerdy.
he was on the Power Rangers for a long time, but then he said that they teased him. They
Yeah.
kind of bullied him off set because in real life he was a homosexual.
Really.
Which is kind of bullshit.
Oh, that's too bad.
That sucks.
So the story is that I believe that Vin works for the video store, and the video store is actually like a front for like drug smuggling. I think.
No,
I
well,
swear
alright,
that's
hold on, wait.
because they're doing some type of criminal operation out of
Yeah,
out of that video store.
It's a video store. Why is he doing the books for medical? Or I think the guy owns a bunch of businesses, is what it is.
He ships medical equipment or something,
Medical supplies.
medical supplies.
Yeah.
but I
and-
think some of those supplies are like drugs though, like
Well,
narcotics.
they don't tell you what it is until the end of the movie. So at first I thought it was
Wait, did
people.
they tell us what it was?
Yeah.
What was it? I don't remember.
I thought it was people. I thought it was drugs. I
Oh,
thought
you thought it was like human trafficking?
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Like
oh, like
sneaking
sex,
people,
like a
like-
sex.
Well, just sneaking
sex
people
trafficking?
from Vietnam over and shit like that. I didn't know.
Okay.
Like at the end of the movie when Christian Slater breaks into the warehouse and he cracks open one of the crates, it's filled with machine guns. So he's
Right.
gun running.
Okay.
I don't know why, for what, or
And that's that's run by Mr. Lawndale, the bad
Mr.
guy.
Lawndale and Mr.
Nguyen.
No, that was the
Bobby Nguyen.
that was the guy who died. Who was? Oh, what was,
her father.
yeah. What was his name?
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not important. Anyway,
Daddy Warbucks.
so what happens is that Vin is doing the books for this guy who owns the video store and all these businesses, and he finds that these numbers aren't making sense. The weights are off of things.
Right, because he says 250 gallons of this shouldn't weigh 500,000 tons. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. And so they're like, just kind of mind your fucking business. Like they're like, he's like, don't worry about it. You're new. Mind your fucking business. And then we go back to Christian Slater and Vin's house where he's making a very 1989 sandwich that is like overly stacked with meats and cheeses and lots of lettuce. The fucker is what? A good 6-7 inches tall, right?
I feel like people only put lettuce on sandwiches in movies. But like if I'm ever making,
but it's only I make sandwiches at home with lettuce on it. Like if I have romaine.
I don't think I've ever done that before.
Really? Oh yeah. If I've got the romaine stalks and shit, but like this dude looked like he took half of a roll of iceberg lettuce and just threw it on top of like a pound and a half of meat.
So the guy who runs the store is the girl's dad, right?
Yes. Vin's girlfriend's dad.
Do we know her name either? Do we remember her name?
I called her Trini the whole movie.
Tranny?
Trini.
We'll call her Trini.
So he's laying in, Vin's in his bedroom, and he's like real weirded out, and he tells Christian Slater is who again?
Brian.
He tells Brian, he's like really worried. He's like, I'm in trouble. And then I was thinking it, but I didn't say it. And then Rachel said, like, how does he know he's in trouble? Like, the guy didn't say anything. He just said basically, like, don't worry about it. You're new. I'll have someone else go check and take care of it. You know? So that was weird. Like,
but the other guy, the Bobby Nguyen, he's the one that kind of what were they gonna do? They were gonna try to. They think he knows more than he actually does.
Well, no, he goes to check it out. He goes down he goes down to the warehouse to check it out for some fucking reason, which is fucking stupid. I understand the movie's gotta maintain a plot, but I'm like, this is dumb. Why does this high school fucking kid care so much and such an overachiever that he's gonna go to a warehouse in the middle of the night to investigate shit?
Well, it's keeping him up. He can't fall asleep until he knows why the weight's off on the register.
Yeah, like don't worry about it. So he goes in and old version of Jackie Gleason comes in. It's with his gun out.
Mr. Lawndale, who's also I only know him from he played Mr. Wilhelm on Seinfeld.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he was he worked with the Yankees, like he was George's boss.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I knew. Yeah.
Remember how he gets into a cult?
Hey, George, I tell you, no, that was always Larry David, but yeah, the boss between the two.
Steinbrenner. Yeah. So he comes out like guns blazing. Wait, does he shoot him? I don't remember.
No, he comes out guns blazing, and Vin is hiding, and then Vin gives himself up. He goes, "Are you the police?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then the next scene is them are the three in the motel room, and that guy Bobby Nguyen is fucking choking the shit out of him.
Right, unnecessarily.
And then Trini's dad knocks on the door, and Lawndale.
Yeah.
Lawndale opens it, and they basically come to a conclusion that they make a decision that he tells him that he's a good guy. That he's a good kid and that he could talk to him and he'll mind his own business and they'll be in the clear.
Right.
Well, in the meantime, they go to tell him to let him go.
Yeah, while they're not paying attention, Bobby just chokes him to death.
Bobby Nguyen chokes fucking Vin to death, and dude is choking the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah,
bro.
with a wet t-shirt.
You're gonna say a wet paper towel? It was
a
wet
paper towel.
It was a wet towel.
But why a wet towel? Why does it have to be wet? I don't understand.
I didn't understand that either. And then he's dead as fuck, and he's like, dead as fuck, and Bobby Nguyen says, I don't know what happened. I do this all the time.
What, kill people?
Like, dude, you were choking the shit out of them. I mean, I'm not a trained killer, but I could have told you that was going to happen.
So they set it up to where it looks like he just committed suicide. Like he
yes, they did. And they break the news to Christian Slater, and that's when we get our first montage of skating with Fury.
I wrote the grief skateboarding.
The grief skateboarding. It's like a skating montage of grief and fury.
But that's the one where he's like doing little tricks like standing still kind of.
No. This is the half pipe. He goes through a half pipe and he's fucking skating.
That's right.
That's the second one. This is when Rachel, which I didn't double check, but she checked it out again, where Tony Hawk through multiple interviews said that Christian Slater really got into the role, trained to skate, and did all of his own skating.
Yeah,
all of it.
No. Because
there are clearly parts in this movie where it's a guy in a wig when intricate tricks are being done, but like
going underneath that semi truck. So yeah, I think he did probably like 70% of the skating, maybe.
Yeah. And then we're skipping over a VSR staple. that happen throughout this movie.
Oh, saying the name of the movie?
Well, that happens, but fingerless gloves. Christian Slater wears fingerless gloves for most of the movie.
When you say gloves, you mean glove, right?
Oh, yeah.
He only wears one.
It's one fingerless glove.
On his right hand, yeah.
Man, I gotta give me some. What are they, just like weightlifting gloves? Or?
Yeah, they're just like weightlifting. Also, it's funny when I see people post on like Instagram or their Instagram story, like them at the gym with the stupid gloves. I'm like, you're not fucking Mr. Universe. Take those goddamn gloves off.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say that when I go to the gym and we do lifting and shit, or like if I'll try to do like I can't do fucking pull-ups. Like I'm not like I'm not Rocky or anything, but you know the machine that you can put weight on that assists with the pull-ups so you can get better at it and shit like that.
Sure.
Well, anyway, anytime I have to use a bar, my fucking hands hurt, and I'm like, man, I know it's douchey, but I wish I had some fingerless gloves right now.
Because as soon as you put those gloves on and like that, you're like, man, I'm so fucking badass.
Yeah. as soon as you put that piece of Velcro around your wrist on the fingerless gloves, it's like, I have the power.
That's funny. What was I gonna say? Oh, did you
I don't know what happened. I do this all the time. I'm gonna say that when I kill somebody. I don't know what happened. I do this all the time. It sounds like Dominic when he's doing something wrong. If he were to go around the corner and be doing something he's not supposed to be doing, and I'd say, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing?" He'd run back and go, "I'm not doing nothing." I'm like, motherfucker, yeah, you are. What are you doing? Yeah, I do nothing.
Guilty. Peace.
Okay. So
did you ever see that Onion story? It's like badass surgeon wears fingerless latex gloves.
Yes. So fucking stupid.
So anyway,
we get Pizza Hut again after all of these scenes.
Yes.
I want to say that Tony Hawk works for Pizza Hut. He's a delivery driver.
Right.
And
you see him driving in this movie more than you see him skating.
At Pizza. It's always with the Pizza Hut. And then the Pizza Hut truck has a Pizza Hut roof.
Did those really exist? I don't remember seeing that.
Dude, I'm sure they did in the height of the pizza craze. I'm sure they did.
Man, I would like to have a pizza craze happen again.
Yeah. Can you?
So yeah, it has like a little house.
Somebody told me they got Pizza Hut the other day. Like something happened and they had to stop somewhere, and the only place that was around was Pizza Hut, and they had to go get Pizza Hut, and they said it was fucking delicious.
Really? I mean, I have nothing against Pizza Hut. I haven't had them in a long time though.
Cause you know why? Because the last time you had it, it wasn't that fucking good.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think they do something weird with their crust. I think they like butter the crust or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been quite a long time since I've had pizza.
I have to order Pizza Hut next weekend.
I won't eat Domino's though. I mean, I would if someone had ordered a Domino's pizza and asked me if I wanted a piece, I'd eat it, but I won't order Domino's.
Oh,
because I used to think that they tasted like shit and that their cheese tasted like really gritty for some reason. I'm sure it's changed, but
they've changed it completely.
That's what everyone says.
It's so weird because it's like, it's good.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, people fucking still hate it, but I think it's good. But they do something, they mix something in their cheese to where their cheese is always so soft.
I don't know if I like that. I like it to be kind of chewy, like stringy and chewy.
Whoa! Dominic just woke up from his nap.
Uh-oh.
You hear that? I don't know what that was. It sounded like he was sharpening his samurai sword.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it's weird that they've soft cheese. Anyway,
so he's a skater and
Christian Slater's canvassing the local Vietnamese community, trying to find clues into what happened to his brother, because he refuses to believe that he hung himself in the Atomic Hotel or whatever it was.
So he knows. He says my brother would never do that, and also why would when the detective looks at the hotel register, he didn't register for the room.
No, that happens later. When they first asked the guy, he's like, "Oh, an Asian kid came in here, and that Asian kid came in here and rented the room."
Didn't he call him a slur though?
Yeah, he said that Chinese kid came in here and rented the room, and then Detective Manny says, "He's not Chinese, he's Vietnamese," and he goes, "They all look the same." And Detective Manny says, "No, they don't."
Right.
Which I'm not gonna.
Manny instilling a little bit of wokeness.
A little wokeness. I'm not saying
to the force.
I'm not saying that I agree with the guy at the hotel, but it'd be very hard for me to differentiate between several different Asian people. Just like some people they call me Mexican all the time. I'm not Mexican. I'm half Puerto Rican and half hillbilly. But they don't know. They just see
hillbilly.
They see brown.
What side do I see more, hillbilly or Puerto Rican?
You get the mix. You get the mix.
Yeah, so Billy or Brian starts doing all
Billy
of the,
Bryan.
Billy Bryan.
My name is Billy Bryan Kelly.
With the help of Bob Cop, Robert Cop.
Robert Cop. Did you see that movie I was watching last night?
Was it Robot? Wait, Robo Vampire.
Robo Vampire. Oh
Was
my
it
God.
dubbed? Is it like a
Yes,
Japanese
it's
movie or
it's
something?
dubbed for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched part of it.
When did it come out?
I think
a year
1989.
after RoboCop.
Yeah, I think like right
Yeah.
after, right at the same time.
Oh God.
And then there's something on fucking Amazon Prime that I think we should do.
What?
Like 4 episodes in a row. We should probably record 2 at a time. But they have all the made-for-TV RoboCop movies.
Really?
So like, I can't remember the name of them except for the one with a Prime Directive, RoboCop Prime Directive. But there was like 3 or 4 of them, and I was like, those would make great VSR
Never seen
episodes.
them.
They're all. I don't think I have either.
They came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
I
think
know,
they
I
were
didn't
all
know they
made
were
for
there.
TV, but they're fucking weird.
But so Brian's doing all this investigating himself.
And actually asked Bobby Nguyen, remember
Right.
at the pool hall?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, so he goes to like, I know at the pool hall is where all the Vietnamese people hang out. So I'm gonna go there and ask him to like read that sheet of paper, right?
Yeah, what was on the sheet of paper?
It was just like it was all the
the
it was
list.
accounting
It was the list. Okay, yeah.
right.
So Bobby Nguyen sees him and decides to start following him, and then in a split-second decision decides he's gonna run him over.
He's do this thing.
Yeah, tries to run him over. He fails, and so he follows him. And Christian Slater's feeling someone's watching him.
Right.
Turns around, and Bobby Nguyen is completely in the open, looking at him through his passenger side or his driver's side window that's rolled down. And when Christian Slater looks at him, the music goes, "Wow," and Bobby Nguyen just leans back, very, very obviously. But they pretend like it was such an inconspicuous thing that he just
Right.
did. It's terrible. So good.
But at some point he gets in the back of his car, right? When he's not looking, he goes to the payphone. And
Yeah,
then
because he starts skitching, and I thought that was badass.
Skitchin. I forgot about that word.
That's a word.
Is that what when you grab onto the back of the
Yep,
car?
and he starts skitching
Skitchin.
on the cars, and you think
Wasn't there a video game called Skitchin?
yes, there was.
Okay.
It was very not a lot of places carried it, but my local video store did, and I used to rent it all the time because it was a provocative video game because they didn't want kids to grab onto the back of cars.
Right. Which I'm sure they've already learned about it from
Yeah.
this movie.
Skitching. He sketches this whole fucking movie, and you think he's in a sketch on Bobby Nguyen's car, but he doesn't. He decides to
He just gets in the back seat.
back
right?
seat, which my fucking heart would be going.
Yeah. You don't know where he's going.
Yeah, you don't know where he's going. You don't know if he's gonna see you, and if he sees you, you're very vulnerable, laying down in the back seat of a car. It's fucking terrible.
And they go to like Lawndale's house, right?
They meet out in the woods at like some like farm or something.
Okay.
And Bobby Nguyen's asking for $50,000 and a ticket to Bangkok. And just
Wow,
like
because
that.
he knows that like Vin was onto him or something.
Yeah,
or-
yeah. He knew.
and now Brian's onto him.
Yeah, he knew that Brian was asking and that it was gonna get found out, so he wants out of there. And then Mr. Lawndale fucking kills him and says it's an accident. How many accidental deaths are gonna? He
I
says
don't know, but he's a very slimy guy.
lots of accidental murders happening in this movie. Bobby Nguyen, he dead.
So also
dead.
before I
he
had
dead
a
as
note-
fuck.
I wrote that like he was never originally supposed to die, Vin, and they just had to write it into the movie because they accidentally kill him.
Yeah,
in real
they're
life.
like, oh fuck, there goes another one. Add him to the VSR body count. that
Also,
Matt's
I
like,
laughed out loud when I saw Brian skateboarding to the brother's funeral. So he
Oh
like
my
pulls up on his
God, dude.
skateboard, and he's wearing like it's definitely like what a skateboarder would wear to a funeral. It's like mostly black.
Eddie was over last night. We were drinking beers. That's when I watched the first like 30 minutes of this movie. My
Yeah.
brother Eddie and I said, Eddie, I want this to go down on record right now. When I die, you have to wear that to my funeral. I want you in an oversized, baggy black suit,
Right.
open with whatever terrible shirt he had
I can't
underneath.
remember what he was wearing. Yeah, and he's got a skateboard up like halfway through the service too, and like watch from a distance.
Yeah, all moody and emo in the background, holding his board, his deck.
What movie or TV show was it where it's like I want to pay someone to attend my funeral, but they have to stand like 100 feet back, like with an umbrella.
Yeah.
It's like to make it seem
That
like I
sounds
have
like-
a part of like a mysterious part of my life that no one
a
knows about.
Zach Galifianakis line or something. It
Sounds like it. I don't quite remember.
Christian Slater is basically the best detective ever. He has all this happens. He brings the cops back to the scene. There's no card, nothing.
Wait, do you remember what Bobby Nguyen says when he's asking about the money, the $50,000? He says, "I want the money. Don't give me a jerk off hand job."
No, he does not.
I swear to God, he goes, "Don't give me a jerk off hand job."
Don't give. That sounded kind of like.
Sorry, but that kind of
Yeah.
like it's a little bit.
Don't give me a happy ending. Oh, I'm going to hell. That was Zach.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Oh, it's terrible.
It wasn't me.
Manny's very sympathetic and decides to help Christian Slater after he says, "I don't think my brother killed himself." Well, I'm thinking in my head, no shit. It's very obvious he didn't kill himself.
Yeah. Plus, the cop just wants to close the case.
Yeah. So they return to the hotel to investigate the front office, and
Did you see that sign in the hotel?
no.
It said, "Welcome." I wrote it down. Welcome Burke and Will's fan club. I was like, what does that mean? It's
Did you look it up?
yeah, it's a movie that the director previously directed. It's a movie about like two dudes.
You can't see my face. I forgot we're doing a podcast. I'm like,
Yeah.
what a fucking turd. No one's seen your movie, and
Yeah,
that's
he
not
wrote
going to
it-
make
he
people
wrote a
run out to
movie
see it.
about like two guys that were like trekking across Australia or something, and it was called Burke and like the two named Burke and Wills. Yeah, so
Oh my!
little
And I'm
funny
sure
joke.
after the 5 people who saw Gleaming the Cube in theater saw that
Right.
sign, they were like, "Oh, I gotta go see fucking
Yeah, really
Breckenmeyer."
boost Brecken.
Breckenmeyer.
The voice of Joseph from King of the Hill, I think. I don't know why I know that.
Hey, we're getting to our spot
What?
where they go to the hotel to investigate the front office, and then that's when they get that information that you said earlier.
Yeah, so because he said, "Oh, I don't think he checked into the room because he didn't register. It's not under his
yeah,
name."
it's not under his name.
But what? Couldn't they find out who did register?
No, apparently not.
Would
If
that- I
anyone's
mean-
gonna find out anything, it's gonna be Christian Slater because
I'm no
he's the
detective.
best 16-year-old detective that's ever walked the face of the planet Earth.
I mean, he's doing a pretty good job.
he knows more than Detective Manny does.
Right. Well, it's because Detective Manny doesn't seem to care about his job. He just wants to.
Yeah, he wants. This is a personal thing he's doing. I feel like he really wants this to happen.
It's like almost like he's like suspiciously. It's almost
You
like
can hear
he's
Dominic
suspiciously
going,
like. I remember like The Departed, like Matt Damon's character who's like a bad guy, and he those people that died that were from like Providence. It's like, what? It's got a fucking bow on it. Why would I look into it deeper?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he suspiciously wants to get this case off of his back. Manny.
Manny, this is when we go to Yabo's house and they go in the backyard and they go into the bomb shelter that is his room, which
Yeah.
is my personally.
Really cool room.
It's tiny, but it's probably the best VSR room we've seen yet. It
So
beats
what's
out
our top three? So
Buddy's
Wiley,
room?
Bud from
just one of the guys. Wiley.
Wiley from Airborne.
Yep.
And this one. Who else has got a cool room?
The clubhouse from Monster Squad was cool.
Wait, brain scan.
Meeting adjourned.
Brain scan room.
Brain scan room was sweet as
Because
fuck.
he's got like all that automated stuff. Like he's got his own Siri, but it's like Igor, right?
Yeah, it is Igor. I think that the amenities in the other rooms are better, but like I just think it's cool to have a bomb shelter room, and like he's got a little thing that because the way it's shaped, he's able to like skate it like a little tiny half
He's got
pipe.
a little tiny half pipe. Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. That's when we get the. I don't know. Like I said, it might be the quote. We're 21 minutes into this movie when he
So
says.
you wrote down the quote, right?
He says, "Brian, do you gleam the cube?" Is his name Brian?
No,
right?
he says you gleam the cube, Brian, or something like that.
It's the place you skate when you let go. It's an intangible, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
If you listeners can't tell, my eyes have rolled so
Yes.
far back in my head.
his fucking
strained
eyes
the
are
nerve.
rolling down I-75 right now. They're going so fast because fucking number one, who's gonna take deep advice from somebody named Yabo?
Yeah, I wrote Sensei Yabo. He looks like a fucking dunce, but he's otherwise like
Got a big old fucking hook
Like
nose,
this-
looking all stupid.
he's otherwise this like philosophical genius apparently. Yeah, so it's supposed to mean like pushing yourself to the limits or something, and the cube's the place you go where you skate.
Get
Shut
the
up,
fuck out of here,
Yobs.
Yob.
So
then-
apparently the title came though from someone said it in an episode or a magazine Thrasher magazine or something about gleaming, like you could gleam inside a cube or something like that. It's like it's real like vague.
There go my eyes. They're going down 94
Yeah.
West.
like
Jesus
pseudo
Christ.
spiritual bullshit.
You're not. It's like Bodie from Point Break talking about surfing, getting all like,
Yeah.
fucking Bodie Zeffel, brah. Get the fuck out of here, man.
This movie would have been better with him.
So
in it.
they track down Christian Slater and Manny separately track down Bob Nguyen's apartment, and Christian Slater goes to the apartment. Detective Manny's already there, and he's like, "What the fuck you doing here, kid?"
Right.
And then this is when Christian Slater throws that air quote fit and pushes everything off the table
Right.
in a fit of terrible acting, and picks up a piece of paper unbeknownst to Detective Manny, so he can investigate.
Right.
Then we get into Rage Skate Part 2, and this is the one where he's doing all the stand-up tricks.
Yeah, he was yelling. He was like, "They killed my brother," and then it like cuts right to like a fun montage.
Pogo sticking on his fucking board, and it's very obviously another dude in a wig. Probably Tony Hawk wearing a fucking really bad Christian Slater wig.
Right.
So the fact that they say he did all of his own skating, like all of it, I'm like, come on, guys. This is
I don't think
definitely not him. He finally decides he wants to meet up with his brother's girlfriend, with Trini. I can't remember her name. He changes his image up to impress the father and getting good with the family. Like
Before like
dressing all
they
preppy.
first meet at like school, right? At lunch or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I thought we could be friends." I'm like, "You fucking creep! Like
You're
you want to
fucking-
like mac on your dead brother's
His
like
brother's not been dead 3 weeks, and he's trying to fuck his girlfriend.
like
Already. It's disgusting.
He's not even his body's not even cold, and you're trying to get it in.
Disgusting.
Also, I mean, I'm sure he was just trying to use her to investigate.
Yeah,
him,
but
like,
you know what's gonna happen.
You know
you
he
just
was-
know what's gonna happen.
and she was gonna crawl in late
yeah,
at
she's
night
like,
through
oh,
that
that's
window.
so cute. So he goes home and he just starts dressing all preppy, and he comes out and his mom drops the glass because she's shocked, and then
Right.
he's like,
His
"Hi."
dad crashes
Yeah,
the car.
I thought that was funny. He's like, "Hi, Dad," when he's pulling in the garage, and then you just hear a because he crashed
Is
the
that
car.
Beaver Cleaver?
Beaver flavor.
Yeah, he puts
That's
he
my
puts
next
the
note.
preppy
Sorry.
clothes on.
He's going to bone his dead brother's girlfriend. What the fuck is going on here?
Right. He definitely wanted to too. He so he changes his look. He kind of looks like I don't know what he looks
Whoa!
like. Oh,
I caught that
Tom
one. That was a
throwing
good
fit.
one. Yeah.
I don't understand. Does he tell Trini what he wants from her? Like, does he? Because he wants to just learn more about his brother or something, right?
He says he wants to learn more about his brother's culture because he was
Okay.
so he blew it off when he.
Right.
Damn, dog, what's going on up there?
I don't know. They mud wrestling.
No, they're eating, and it just so happens because when he wakes up, he eats, and
Yeah.
it just so happens that it's right above us.
Oh, it's all
You
right.
can't hear it. I can hear it. It's not.
Can you hear it in the headphones?
You can hear it in the headphones. It'll be okay though.
Yeah.
And if anybody's got a problem with it, you can send an email to videostorerewind@gmail.com and or suckmydick.getalife at Richard.
All right, that joke's
.com.
just dive bombed. I'm just kidding.
Pick it up, man. Where we at?
So they become friends, and he goes over their house, and her father is hates white people. He doesn't want his daughter to be even friends with a non-Vietnamese person, right?
No, not at all. It has to be a Vietnamese person.
But isn't there a point where he goes in and he steals that lighter and some papers or something?
He
goes
goes.
to use the bathroom, and then he sneaks into her father's like study.
Yeah, he sneaks into her study and or the father's study, and he's rummaging through papers, and for some reason decides to steal a lighter that he was given as like an award for like a war thing. Like it has Colonel. His name's Colonel something. It's not Sanders, but
We're watching Life Force again.
it's Colonel something. I don't know.
Like 800 characters name. I'd like to go through the Life Force cast.
Oh
and
my
count
God.
How many times how
Colonel.
many colonels there are?
Jesus Christ! And then we
I
go right into
guarantee
this
there's
movie.
a minimum 5.
Yeah,
minimum.
minimum 5, and then we go into this movie, and the guy's Colonel something. It's not Yen because Yen or
Nguyen.
is it? It's something with a K. I feel like Kane
Kane Hodder.
Hodder.
I don't know.
Nice guy. I like Kane Hodder.
Yeah, you met him once.
Met him once.
He choked you out, and you loved it.
I did. I got a huge boner. I was like, no,
He's
don't
always
do
complaining
that.
about how weak Rachel's hands are.
Yeah. Kane had her choke me once, and I came so fast. It was like,
Next time you meet him, you got to bring a new pair of pants.
yeah. I'm like, hey, Kane, how much for you to take a picture and choke me? And he's like, $25. I'm like, how much until I come? 50.
He's like $20. He wants less money because
15.
he gets a little bit of enjoyment out of it.
15. Let me watch. Disgusting.
Oh my goodness. So he steals that lighter, and later on when she accuses him of like, what is this? It's like, oh, that's just an old lighter I found. It's like,
keep going.
And he's still
yeah,
trying.
because I had
lie.
to finish the movie. You were here for that when
and he
when we
was like
rewatched
trying
everything.
to like come up with an excuse.
No, I
He's
found
like,
that at an old army surplus store is what he said.
and then he keeps going with the lie, and she's like, it has his name on
She's
it.
like, but it literally has his name on it, and I've seen it since I was a little girl. And he's like, what is it? Oh, what do you want me to say?
He knew
He's
he
like,
couldn't
"You-
lie
Yeah, you're not
anymore."
gonna believe me. You're not gonna believe whatever I say anyway.
Right.
And he's like, you got time? And she says yes. And then the next scene is her talking to her father about the murders.
It's Colonel Track, by the way.
Colonel Track.
And her name is Tina, by the way, not Trini. Tina Track.
She looks like Trini from fucking Power Rangers, bruh.
Tina Track kind of sounds like
She
an
really doesn't. Now,
exercise equipment.
The more and more I
Like a
think
Nordic
about it,
track.
the more and more I think about it, she does not look like Trini from Power Rangers, which is kind of bad.
Okay, well, that's not
Kind of
very
racist, I think. I didn't do it on purpose, but she kind of did when I first saw her.
cool. Yeah, let's see, a fellow high school student.
Are your notes Wikipedia?
No. I just wanted to pull up the plot points.
Zach forgot.
so I
Zach
can,
didn't watch this movie.
I
He
got
just
notes right here.
He's got PowerPoint Wikipedia article over here.
I said I put T2 Aqueduct because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably the same one.
That most definitely is the
Yeah.
Los Angeles Aqueduct.
I don't even know why he goes in there. Oh, it's because he's on a skateboard and he can totally keep up with people on
Yeah, 'cause
motorcycles or driving in cars.
All right, well, we got ahead of ourselves, but the Colonel, what's his name? Or not Colonel. Colonel gets killed by Lawndale. Mondale? What's his name?
Lawndale.
Lawndale. He gets killed by Lawndale, and
Wait, when did he? Wait, the Colonel, Tina's father?
yeah, he gets shot.
Oh yeah.
Remember Christian Slater?
Right. But before that,
There's
though.
a bunny hop.
So what I forgot though.
I don't know. A McNasty McFlip twist into the window for no fucking reason
So
whatsoever.
I forgot the point though. So Brian goes to that warehouse though, and he like blows up.
Yeah. That was that was my favorite scene of the movie.
When he
uses Colonel Track's lighter, but he there's security guards
in his
that are
Los
in like
Angeles Rams hat.
a security like a trailer outside of the place, because Christian Slater had already previously broken in and opened the crate, and they knew he had opened the crate, so they knew he was onto him.
Right.
So he goes back, and these guys are in a trailer that's their office, the security guards. So they come out for their inspection, their rounds or whatever, and he throws in fireworks into the trailer. So they all rush back, and they get in the trailer, and he locks them in the trailer, kicks out the blocks, and they roll down the hill, probably to their eventual death.
Probably to their fiery
Like into the
deaths.
ocean, like off a cliff into the ocean. And then he puts a can of gas. He makes a Molotov cocktail out of a can of gas, and he pushes it into the propane tank and explodes like the wall of the building,
Right.
which I thought was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
And
It was
it's
a good
also the
explosion,
cops
too.
will come and investigate.
And he grabbed Colonel Track's hat.
Oh, yeah,
and threw
his
it in
Rams
there
hat.
so that they make sense.
And
of
it just so happens that after all the investigation that's going on in the scene, Lawndale's the one who finds the Rams hat, and he's like, "What the fuck's going on?"
right. So but why? I don't know what's the point. What is the point? He's trying to incriminate Colonel Track.
It's something that Detective Manny says to him that they talked about, and what do you say? We need to shake the tree, I think it is. He's a Detective Manny comes to Christian Slater scolding him because he knows it's him, and he's like, "What, man? You said we had to shake the tree."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I'm just shaking the tree, man." He said, "When I said shake the tree, I meant legally." That's what Detective Manny says. And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then that's when we get the confrontation. Everything's falling apart. Lawndale's in Colonel's office, and Colonel tells him, like, we need to... He's like, "I'm out. I'm done." Because
Right.
Lawndale's like, "Oh, he's just a kid? Kill him."
Right.
He's all about killing kids. He's a fucking child murderer. So
Right.
he says no, and then he says, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Kill my daughter or something like that? And then she comes in the office and she's
He's like, no one knows about it except some punk on a skateboard. He's
Yeah.
like, well, my daughter knows too. You gonna kill her?
Yeah. And then she comes in the office and she's like, Daddy, there's a cop car outside. And Lawndale fucking grabs her
Right.
and puts a gun to her.
And then
And that's when Christian Slater does that.
he's my cue to crash through the plate glass window.
For no fucking reason whatsoever. He does the Ollie McTwist flip, nasty,
McTwist flip.
nasty McGrab board.
The Ollie McRib.
Do you know any skateboard tricks?
No, I have no idea.
He does the Hallelujah McNasty. I don't know.
There's
I just know
also apparently
McNasty.
there's a trick that's not a trick, and people use it to talk down to people who don't know anything about skateboarding. It was who was it? It might have been Tony Hawk. I was on an episode, like a podcast, but he was talking about like when they'll say like, yeah, he did like a killer fandango or something like that. Like it's a made up word that they say to like fuck with people who don't know anything about skateboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A killer fandango. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
He did a killer fandango through that plate glass window and fucked himself all
I don't know
up.
what his plan was. So he went through the window and then he just lies there
He
writhing
does.
in pain.
And that's when fucking Lawndale shoots the colonel,
Yep.
which we find out eventually does kill him. And then
Which Tina was not all that upset
Trina?
about. Tina.
Trina, because you and Tina, Trina,
Trina track.
the
Trina,
baddest
Trina
bitch,
track.
the rapper.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
Trina.
whoop whoop, pull over that ass too
the
fast.
baddest
Whoop, whoop.
bitch.
I was about to say the baddest bitch.
She was raunchy. Like
Yeah.
way more raunchy than like Lil Kim, if I remember.
Oh, Little Kim was pretty dirty, man. Trina's nasty too.
She's real nasty.
Trina's very pretty. Trina's a beautiful.
One of her
woman.
lyrics was like, "I've been sucking dick since I was 10" or something like that. I'm like, oh my god! I swear to God, that's one of the
That made me
lyrics.
uncomfortable. That made me really uncomfortable.
So she all right. So he shoots her. Tina's not that upset about it either.
no,
Not
at
first.
all.
What happens after that?
She gets abducted, and then he steals a cop car, and the longest fucking chase in history happens.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Christian Slater has gotten Yabo to gather the troops, and they're all meeting up with Tony Hawk at the
And he
Pizza
said-
Hut to get into the Pizza Hut
You got
delivery.
your team. I got mine.
Yeah.
His
they
team is a bunch of fucking skateboarding dorks.
fucking boners. They're all a bunch of stupid ass boner
All
Yabos.
their names should be Boner.
Yeah,
I got
a bunch
Boner,
of Yabos.
Yabo.
Fucking Yabo looks like he should be the goon, the one that I always reference in the goon status, where there's the leader and the two guys behind him going, yeah. But he looks like the guy that should be wearing the 3D glasses,
Yeah.
and they call him
Yeah,
Specs.
he's also
hey,
got
Specs, get him.
He's
yeah,
also
boss.
got
Okay, boss. Whatever you say, boss.
He's also got the Buzz haircut from Home Alone.
Yeah,
his brother.
Yeah. He looks like really does look like one of Biff's goons to
From
me.
Back to the Future?
Yabo, yeah. It's weird. Anyway, so this long squealing. So can you tell me how many tire
This-
squeals you said you heard?
Like 50,000. There's so much tire screeching in this movie, like more than in any movie. But I did mention that. So they're chasing him. All right. So Detective Manny is in his passenger doorless Tornado, and then
Is it really a tornado?
yeah,
Is it really?
yeah.
Cool.
I think they stopped making those in the 90s. then-
Tornado.
All right. So Billy. I keep calling him Billy. Brian is on a skateboard.
I don't even think that's his name, Zach. Is it?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's Brian. But I keep
Rachel!
calling him Billy. She
Oh,
can't hear you.
She might have went bye-bye. Uh-oh.
No, it's Brian. Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly. I swear to God, I think I went to high school with Brian Kelly.
It's a very normal name.
Did you go to high school with Brian Kelly?
No.
I feel like my volume dropped, but I know it didn't.
Did it?
I don't know. Did I do something? Sorry if it gets loud again, guys. Hello? I don't know. Anyway,
I think you're fine.
proceed.
So, all right. So Lawndale grabs Tina and who else? Another Vietnamese man.
I don't know where that man came
Who
from.
is that man?
I don't know where he came from. Was he like the gardener or like one of was he like Colonel's
Colonel
like
Track?
personal assistant or something?
I
I,
have
don't
no
know
idea.
who the fuck that kid was. But he's driving the car. I feel like they just needed somebody to
needed someone to
drive
drive the
yeah,
car?
like so they're like, all right, yeah, if I could just put somebody in
I
there.
don't know where he's telling him to go though. Is he trying to? I don't know where. He's fleeing something.
Can you tell me how he's telling them to leave? like how he's doing the backseat driving.
Oh yeah, well he's just like, turn there, no, over there, go through the light, turn on the thing.
What are you doing over there?
Literally the worst backseat driver ever. And then Tina's in the back as well.
Going,
and then
"Oh, no."
Christian Slater's chasing them on a skateboard and keeping up with them, mind you.
No fucking
Somehow.
problem. He's
No
going
problem.
through the fucking aqueducts, keeping up
It's
with
like
them.
so. It's the idea that I don't have to always skateboard on a street and follow the street rules, so it somehow puts me on the same level as far as keeping up with you. But anyway,
I can't even fucking skateboard down my street without hitting a rock and almost falling over. I don't know how this fucking skating through goddamn town, keeping up with a cop car.
I don't know. And you'd think he'd move a lot faster if he wasn't constantly doing little tricks.
Yeah,
Like he'll like go around the corner and like do like he'll
an
do
ollie,
he'll
an
do
ollie
like a
twist.
180. Yeah,
He'll do a fucking kickflip.
right.
Kickflip. That's a real one. See,
Kickflip. There you go. I think it's a Fandango. It's like the fake.
He's doing Fandango crushers all around town.
Wicked Fandango. And then Detective Manny is following all of them, right? They're
Yeah.
they're all like chasing each other.
And then my second favorite part of the movie is when the cop car hits that Corvette and the guy's like, "What the fuck, man?" Oh, and Christian Slater's like, "Hey, man, that that kind of sounds like something he would say too. Hey, man,
Hey man,
that guy who just hit you isn't really a cop." And he's like, "Yeah, no shit." He says something like that.
let's go get him.
He's like, "Well, you need to go get him." And he goes, "Yeah, you're right. Thanks, kid." And
Thanks,
he fucking
pal.
punches it. And they show him driving, not fast, but kind of fast. And he looks over and Christian Slater's skitchin. And he's like, "Come on, man, go
Right.
faster."
He's like, still with you.
Yeah, I'm still with you. And then you see Manny in his fucking tornado again. And then that's when we see Boner and the rest of the fucking bonettes. Boner in the Boner in the fucking bonettes with Tony Cock. Tony Cock's driving that Pizza Hut S10, and they're blocking the street. So they get scared, so they stop the car and they turn around. And
Right.
what happens after that? How does Lawndale end up getting out of the car?
He gets out of the car. He crashes the car on the highway, I believe. And then as he's about to shoot Brian makes some type of jump and like lands on him and it knocks the gun out of his hands. I don't know. It's kind of stupid.
I blinked and I missed it, and it looked. I blinked and it looked fake. He's like, oh, he just dropped the gun,
Right.
And then the next scene was him in the hospital. What I remember, and they're like patting him on the back.
Right.
Christian Slater, you did it on your skateboard. You're the best. You're like Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys had sex and they made
Hardy
you.
Boys. Yeah. So.
The Hardy, yeah, boss, get him.
So they arrest Lawndale, and then Christian Slater goes to. Did he go to the hospital?
Yeah, he's got that big ass.
Big ass gape leaking wound.
Yeah, it's like black though. It's not red at all. It looks like
It's scabbed over.
it's like tar coming off his head. And then in the next scene, there's a bandage on it, and he's in a wheelchair and he's talking to Trini.
Oh yeah, and he's saying, "How's your father?" And she just kind of like shakes her head, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that." He's
She
like,
doesn't seem
"Oh
too
yeah,
concerned
he's
about
dead."
it. He doesn't seem too concerned about it.
And
She
it's
doesn't.
all of this series of events has been put into place by Brian,
Yeah.
by Christian Slater. So he's kind of responsible for her death, or for her father's death.
Absolutely. And she's like, "How do I go to school and show myself?" And da 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 da. And he says, "You wait for me to get out of here, and we'll go in together."
We'll go gleam the cube together.
He doesn't say that, does
No,
he?
he doesn't
Okay.
say that. No.
And then the end, right?
He goes to Vin's grave, and then
Oh yeah. Detective Manny. They sum up the movie. How's it going?
yeah, I don't even remember what they say.
He said, "How's it at home?" And that's
Oh,
when
yeah.
I used it earlier. I said this, but he's like, "They talk to me instead of about me now."
I like that line. That's a good
Yeah,
line.
that's a
Like
good
my
line.
parents, like instead of talking about me, they
They're
talk to
talking
me,
to
and I
me.
listen. Or and he says, "Are you listening or reacting?" or something like that.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Yeah. So they comfort each other, and then there's another theme song at the end.
It's like my brother.
Oh, it's called "Brother to Brother,"
Is it really?
which made me think of the Steve Brule sketch where he's him talking to himself.
Maybe ass to ass is what I think of from Requiem for a Dream. Ass to ass.
And he says it just like Gary Marshall, if you know who that is. Ass to ass.
Yeah, fucking throwing money on Jennifer Connelly.
God,
and
it's
she's
so creepy.
double dildo banging that chick.
Double dildy
Double dildo.
dildy Han.
Dildo Han. Dilda Swinton.
Win.
Fucking. Oh, look at that. We still get a reference to a good fucking.
Yeah.
A good Pound
I can't
Town.
believe you haven't referenced a movie you always reference though.
Oh, well, it's Night of the Comet.
I like how you just literally just have to say that the title just so it's like it won't, so the movie won't die.
Yeah.
It'll be living
You know
in everyone's memory because you
they're
just keep
remaking
repeating
it right now. So
Are they really?
Yeah, it's being remade.
Oh, by who?
I have no idea, but like I get updates about it because I'm part of that group. You know.
I never get excited over something that could be good when I don't know who like
It's
the
not
writer
going to
or
be good.
director
It's going
is.
to be fucking terrible. It's going to be terrible, but in this age of women empowerment, which I'm not mad about, but
Yeah.
you know, it was ahead of its time for the 80s to where the women weren't helpless and they were the two leading characters. The two heroes were women.
So will Kelly? Is it Kelly?
Hey,
Hey,
come here.
What are you doing?
Hey guys, I don't know if Matt's going to keep this in. He's more than welcome to, but it's Dominic's here again. Oh, push ride?
Nice.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
Can you say "Gleaming the Cube"?
Thank
That's pretty
Hey,
good.
can you say video store rewind?
What is I want?
Yeah.
Hey, tell Matt he can take this out. Did you guys smoke out back?
No, I didn't.
Fire was going.
Oh, really? Oh, fire from last night was going. I
Oh,
was
jeez.
down for like 15 minutes.
Supposed to put that out. It says Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, only you can prevent forest fires. Hey, go ahead.
Our neighbors are talking about realtor from the open house.
Oh, really? Hey, you got to talk into it, buddy. Here, hey, what? Can you tell Zach if someone's being a bully? If someone comes up to you, Dominic, and they got fingerless gloves on and they're trying to bully you, what do you say? Do you wanna say it?
And like a sandwich?
Do you want a knuckle sandwich? Say, do you want a knuckle sandwich?
You like a sandwich?
Ooh, show him the knuckle sandwich. Nope, that's... Nope, no, thumbs up, yeah. He learned thumbs up, too. All right, buddy, I love you. Say, I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Daddy.
Have a kiss? Ooh, that was cute. Be careful, watch the cord. Go upstairs with Mama. Hey, come on. Bye. 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 Okay. Brian was what now?
Well, he was talking to. Well, you said I don't know what they were talking about.
Oh, they're just
Brian and
they
Detective.
talk to me and not at me.
Right. You fall going up
What-
the stairs.
what
did,
happened?
Did Dominic fall up the stairs? Oh.
what happened?
I said, did he fall up the stairs?
What'd she say?
He hit his elbow.
Oh, poor baby.
So
he
Manny.
fell up the stairs.
Yeah, Detective Manny is.
Oh, then it was like, yeah, you already said that.
They're
And
like-
he was
they're really
brother
chummy.
to brother.
Yeah, they're really chummy for some reason, even though Manny hates this kid because he's fucking up his life.
Yeah, he hates this kid, and they're like a 25-year age gap too.
Right.
Let's
yeah.
not forget that.
And now they're
Anyway,
friends.
They're all fucking
some
riding
reason.
around in Manny's topless Bronco or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, and that's the end of the movie. Shit.
The end. Gleaming the Cube. What'd you think, Zach?
So this was my first time ever seeing this movie. Overall, not very good. It could have been better. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not bad. And I think for as bad as the movie is, I think the chase scenes are pretty competent. Like they're pretty done pretty well. And a lot of the skateboarding I thought was I don't know. I'm trying to compare it to like other like Airborne or like other movie or like Rad. You know,
Compare it to Rad when Lori Loughlin, when a couple of those scenes with Christian Slater was like when Lori Loughlin was doing that stunt thing outside of the dance, and it was just obviously a dude in a wig.
right?
That's what it was like for some parts.
Yeah,
but
a lot of parts were like that. And no, I didn't hate the movie, but I don't think it's really very good either. But it's,
if somebody's like, I want to see a good 80s skateboarding movie, I wouldn't pick Gleaming the Cube because
yeah,
although the skateboard is used a lot, I feel like that the skateboard is kind of just a filler. Like,
also, did this movie have to have anything to do with skateboarding? Like, it's just
No.
about a guy who's investigating his brother's
yes,
death.
they just skateboarding was popular, so
Like,
they just
let's
threw it in there.
throw in that as
Yeah.
another element.
Yeah, and then the title. And
He has a new concept.
The title Gleaming the Cube is fucking stupid to me.
It's really stupid. It should have been Skate or Die.
I didn't hate this movie, but like it's not like high on my list. I think if I would have seen it as a kid, I probably would have held it in high regard.
Yeah,
But I didn't. I saw
Especially if
this
you were a
34-year-old
skater.
man. Yeah,
yeah.
I I saw it as a 34-year-old man, and I no longer care about skating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
no.
yeah, just the only thing that really excited me about this movie was Detective Manny,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple of cool scenes like when he Molotov cocktailed the propane tank. And
Yeah, he should. Do you think he grows up to be a detective, police detective?
let's find out in Gleaming the Cube 2, Hard Rain.
Hard Rain. What did you
Hard
say?
Rain.
Hard Rain.
You remember that movie?
No. Oh
With
wait.
Christian Slater and I think Morgan Freeman.
Ah, it sounds familiar.
And I think he plays like a shitty local cop or something, and there's a flood. I don't know. It's
That
not
sounds
important.
stupid. So this is unrelated, but when I was at work, they were doing like icebreakers of new people on the team, and this older guy, he's probably maybe like 47, 48. Everyone had to say what their favorite movie was, and his favorite movie was Cuffs with a K. Have you seen Cuffs before? With
Fuck no.
Christian
No one's
Slater. That movie stinks. I laughed out loud
wait.
when he said his favorite movie was Cuffs. I'm like, that movie's terrible.
Is this for the improv group you said?
No, this is some people at work.
At work? And he
Yeah.
said Cuffs.
He said his favorite movie was Cuffs. I was like, in my head, I was like, are you serious? It's like saying your favorite movie is Men at Work. Like, it's not good.
Was he fucking around?
No, he wasn't fucking
Oh,
around.
man.
He's like, yeah, he's like the New Balance and the tucked in T-shirt. Like, he's kind of a dork.
He's got a doinker.
He's a doinker, yeah.
I like the way you said that so professionally. And yes, he's a doinker.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
man,
the guy doinks.
Life Force said, man, London just got fucking doinked.
I've been saying it nonstop too. By the way, I've explained it to 5 different people, and no one has.
What, the
usually
movie or using that term doink?
The term doink, the phrase doink, and people usually will be like, "Okay, that's fucking stupid,"
Yeah.
shit. And most people are like, "Oh man, I like that." And then later on, like
Yeah.
at work, somebody will go, "Dude, I saw you turn that corner too fast. You almost doinked the jack, bro." Or they're like, "Oh man, did you see someone's? Did you see like?" I'm gonna say Marissa Tomei because I love her, but you
Yeah.
know she's fucking hot, man. I doink her. I'm like, you guys are picking up on it. I like that.
I must have rewound it 2-3 times. My favorite joke, which is the Gibson finger banger, which is only really funny if they know Cyborg.
Yeah,
and was it Cyborg?
It was Cyborg. Gibson Rickenbacker.
Gibson Rickenbacker was the name.
What fucking so stupid.
Was that Van Damme's name?
What was it?
Fender Tremolo.
Fender Tremolo's the
Gibson
bad guy.
Rickenbacker, and then I thought JCVD. I thought his name was Gibson or no?
Gibson Rickenbacker, yeah.
That was
And
his
then the
name.
bad guy was Fender Tremolo.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was fucking Banjo chords.
Kazooie.
Yeah, Banjo Kazooie. Fucking stupid. I hated that movie.
Yeah, you only get the joke if
I
you
did-
get Gibson right.
Did I fucking? I gotta listen to Cyborg and see if I said I liked that movie because I really did not like that movie.
No, it's terrible.
It was fucking boring too.
Man, we've done a lot of canon films. I think we've done at least 6.
Yeah, and
I can't
unintentionally
even name
too.
them all because the Life Force was a canon film.
Yeah.
So was Over the Top. So was Cyborg, and I think we had to have done at least 2 or 3 more.
Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, Masters of the Universe. That's
Unintentionally at that. It's not like we're gonna do canon movies. It's just
Right.
they dominated the
4. They
80s.
just- yeah, shit, they had a lot.
They released like 250 movies, I want to say,
Did they?
between 19.
Did you watch that documentary about them? What's it called? Like Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, we've talked about me and you watching that documentary like in 7
They would
different
just
episodes.
like throw money at everything. It's
Yeah.
like, what? Make it a movie. It's like this movie's got to be done
Listen
in 2
here.
weeks.
Listen here. Go upstairs and get the Superman 2 soundtrack, dust it off, change a couple chords, put a little Fender Tremolo and a
Right.
Gibson Stratocaster on there, and you're all good.
Wasn't in Jeff's post about Batman, he said like this and Masters of the Universe were like my favorites when I was young. Yeah, shit. I don't know. I don't think I would ever watch this movie again. I don't think I ever.
Oh
need
no,
to.
I'll never watch Gleaming the Cube.
No.
Oh fuck no, I'm done. One and done, bro.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah.
I feel bad because
a lot
Rachel
of
grew
these
up
movies-
loving it, and a lot of people grew up loving it, and I'm like,
Well, that's the reason it has like a
it's gonna be a no for
69%.
me, dog. That movie doinks.
This movie's dunking sucks.
That's my new thing. Do you recommend this movie at the next one? I'm like, fuck no, this movie doinks. Or I'm
guy-
gonna be like, fuck yeah, bro, this movie doinks.
What's in what
Oh, in the
show
tone.
is it when it says this guy fucks? What's that?
Oh,
from?
that was I was just talking about it at
Is that
work.
Silicon Valley.
Yes,
or,
it
like-
was Silicon Valley.
Oh, it's the
'Cause-
guy that like the investor guy,
Yes,
and he's talking to
The douchey
Zach,
guy.
What's his name? Zach.
Jonah. No, wait, not Jonah. That's Veep.
Zach, he also played the guy from he was in The Office too.
Yeah, I can't remember. Jared.
Zach Woods is his name.
Jared is the character's name, right?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
this guy fucks.
And then we found out later on he actually does fuck because remember
Right.
he's slamming all those hot chicks
Yeah.
in the house. We got a guy at work who's weird like Jared kinda, and so like that's what I said. I was like, man, this guy fucks.
This guy
man.
doinks.
This guy's fucking doinking, brah.
Doinking every night.
Are you next? Who's next?
No,
Matt?
Matt's next.
Matt's
yeah.
next. Oh no, I don't like not having.
Did
an
he
idea.
say what he wanted to do next? I have a feeling he's going to choose another Pauly Shore movie. But I don't know how many I could take.
God,
Yeah, I don't
man.
know. Matt, if you're listening to this, let us know what your next pick
Hey,
is.
I'm gonna actually try to call him real quick. And I can't remember.
He's on the choo choo. He probably won't be able to
Is
answer.
he on the choo choo?
I think so.
He said something about maybe trying to call in, so I'm gonna find out just real quick.
Please leave your message
Nope.
for
Oh, yeah.
He's on the choo choo, so we don't know what the next movie is. As soon as we find out, you'll know because the episode will be in your subscription list.
Yeah. Yes, thanks for listening. Oh, by the way, we had so many listens from the UK on our last one.
Yeah.
It's great. They turned out for some reason.
They because of Life Force.
So is Life Force like more of a cult movie there than it is here, I guess?
I don't know. They were. It takes place in London. It was filmed in England.
London got fucking thrashed.
Fucking doinked. they fucking doinked. They doinked it, bro. As soon as that
Yeah.
episode came out, we were up there, man. They listened a lot. I looked on the because you only see like 250 whatever on SoundCloud, but if you
Right.
look on all the other ones like iTunes and shit, it's hard to grasp a number, but it skyrocketed, man.
Yeah.
UK showed out. They I don't know if we get they're our second country, but I think just because we cover some movies that are from their area that are more
Yeah.
popular there.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
So-
all you UK listeners. Sorry if that episode was like because we had a couple of moments of like totally dead
Yeah.
air.
I don't know how
It's
long
hard-
people listen to either. That's my new thing is I think the next movie I pick, I'm going to try to find something that's more popular over there, and maybe we can tap into a UK audience.
Man, what would
Like,
be the most?
you may have never heard of us, but we're a fucking big deal in the United Kingdom, dicks. Go doink yourself.
What's the most British movie ever? I'm trying to think of like.
There's this movie that I want to see really bad. I see clips of it on Facebook all the time, and
Yeah.
it's about DJs in England, like rave DJs and shit.
Huh. Is it old?
It's from the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like in 90s movies. It reminded me of something like High Fidelity or something like that, or here. But
Right.
let me see. Let's see if
trying to
UK
think-
movie about DJs and record stores.
I'm trying to think of something that would be like really beloved in England and not so much in America.
Human Traffic,
Human Traffic. Oh, never heard.
1999.
Oh wow, never even heard of it.
Five friends spend one lost weekend in a mix of music, love, and club culture.
Sounds good.
Looks good. Maybe I'll pick
Put
that
it on the
movie.
short list. Yeah. So let's call it.
Let's call it. All right. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening, guys. You
Thanks,
have a great
guys.
day.
Take care.
Video Store Rewind.